Hey, welcome back. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Everything's fine. Thank you.
Good.
How's it going?
Not too bad, thanks. So today we're going
Dear.
to be talking a little bit about leadership styles and leaderships from our point of view, leadership styles in technical teams. What actually works when you're leading a group of engineers, admins, whatever you want to call it, individual contributors, team members, and what it feels like to be on the receiving end. Levy, what it feels like. Judith, any any comments to elaborate a little bit on that?
Lavi has loads of experience with loads of leaders,
Yeah, let,
but
let
at
me
some
take
point,
out my notes.
I think at some point I will need to just, stay in the background because he was working for me for like 14 years, 15 years. I hired him for several
Payback time.
positions. Yeah, so there's gonna be that piece. I'm guessing that he's gonna be talking about, but there's gonna be before and after me as well. So let's see. And no, it's not. This is not about me. We really just would like to hear, Levi, what is your experience, how you felt, how it helped, the different leadership styles, if they did help you grow with your career, wanting to do more, right, deliver better. What was it? What was that point where you realized what you need from a leader, basically?
hmm Yeah, I guess it all comes down to the person itself. I mean, for me, in my case, I guess it's always my biggest problem was, I think, is that I always have this impostor syndrome, you know, that I'm not good enough for a certain job, and then after a couple of years in the same position and I'm still kicking, everyone is getting changed or anything, and I'm still there. So maybe I should get convinced that okay, I'm probably good enough. But then, you know, uh, I guess it's my biggest luck with management was that like when I was under you, that I felt like my manager trusts me or my capabilities more than I do. So I think those things that you probably from an outside point of view would have a better overview on what am I delivering and what is the expectation. And even though in my own mind, I don't feel like I'm delivering adequately or I could do better. But there was always a good feedback that okay, that's plenty, that's great, it works good. And I also, I mean, in your case, that I also very much appreciated that you weren't dancing around, problematic things. If you have any issues, then you bring it up. But that also I saw how you dealt with others, and I don't think I ever had to like hide my mistakes. So I could come forward and tell you, or the team, that I screw up something, and then we can try to put back the jam in the donut. And then
Yeah.
yeah, was that bad? I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
it was
so
funny.
yeah,
That
but
sounds like
It
a
was
messy
funny.
fix, man.
yeah, you got it. But I think it's also about if you wait too long, and then it turns out that you made a mistake, then you will have to deal it with on a different level as well, and then you will have a different reaction to the person as well. So I think that that's what I liked your about your style, that you weren't you were straightforward, never had to worry about why are you saying something, because I could take face value, and that's what you were saying, and that's what it means, because it was always what you said with what you meant, even
What, what you
when
see
we
is what you
disagreed.
get.
Yeah, but we had quite a bit of disagreements in the years. I guess I can say that, but
Absolutely.
that was, and even sometimes on personal level or anything like that. That I don't think that we have to worry about having a long ongoing conflict or some resentment building up because of that, because we can always discuss it and then agree to disagree, and there's no hard feelings about it because we are all adults and try to push the cart of the company. But if the company doesn't respect our efforts, then we can always move on. So you don't have to act like you have to die for the company or give your blood for the company, and then you're not expected to do that either. So I think that's your style, what I liked, and there were other people who I kind of respected. I think for the effort they put in, and I really appreciated the trust they put in me. But then it turns out that they weren't really trust more, or they put the trust in me, but then they expect to deliver as well. But then when it came to appreciation, like money wise or position or any other or not any other, but okay, money I can understand. There's a budget. True, fine, whatever. There are certain things that doesn't cost shit, and you can give it to the people. And if you withhold it, that gives paints a picture of your values. And that's what happened with me before I started working for you. That there was a team of 5 of us. We were all coming from the service desk. We've been put on a second level as an emergency situation resolution, because they fired everyone in the local service, or not service desk, but the technical team. They fired from the customer, and then they were sitting there like, okay, we don't have documentations, we don't have support, we don't have anything. And then, okay, what we
Surprise.
gonna do? And then we have to reverse engineer from the scripts and everything, the 5 of us. And I didn't apply for that position, but that manager came to me that, okay, why didn't you apply for that position? I was like, I just started like 3 weeks ago. Why would I apply? No, you apply for that position. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I didn't
If
know
you tell
how
me.
come. Yeah, but I didn't understand how come he wanted me to be there. And then of course it turned out nicely because I was more technically inclined, but I didn't even imagine that he had opportunity to see me being a technically inclined person out of the 60 other people. So that was something that was I appreciated leadership. But then the other thing that when it came to okay, well, we're doing a much more technically involved position, uh, we'd like to have some more money. And then the bullshit generator started, and that's where I lost some kind of respect for that person, because it was like, I mean, you can tell the truth. You can tell that. I mean, you expect me to be an extra intelligent person when it comes to solving problems for the company, but you expect me to be an idiot when it comes to representing my own interest. So it's like, oh, come on, what's
Yeah.
I
that?
think the problem there is you hit the nail on the head. The problem there is the honesty, and that's what I, even as a leader, that's what I don't like on higher level leadership as well. Just tell me what it is. Just tell me what it
Transparency
is,
is
and
great.
then we can move on. Like in cases, Troy, you remember it as well when we had the VCP and the
Unfortunately.
and your ratings, and you could have told me that, hey, I need to give you a valued contributor because you're not delivering whatsoever, right? But no, you came to me and you told me why you gave me the value contributor, because whatever, doesn't matter, let's not go into the details, but you were honest about it and I could accept it. It still felt kind of like a stab in the back, but I knew that it wasn't coming from you. So going back to what Levi said at the beginning as well, as long as we can be honest with each other, the leader and the other person, we can get through this together.
Yeah.
But if you're just BSing and not telling me what that is, that's when I'm gonna get pissed.
And see, and Judith, I think that example you're giving, that was being transparent and not really looking for someone else to blame. Being transparent, the limitations I have, and it's not any individual at that location, it's
Yeah.
collectively a big, large customer of ours, wasn't seeing the results that they needed to see or wasn't reporting the results that they wanted to have, and the financials didn't line up. Just being transparent about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could have come up with anything else as a
Yeah,
reason, but you
yeah,
just honestly, openly told me what it
right,
was, and I appreciated it, and that's what's not happening in many cases.
right. And that's what I think is Levy, you're kind of alluding to, is that the
Yep.
bullshit generator starting up instead of dancing around the truth. And I think I saw this most recently in my career. It was most enforced for me with Rio Tinto. Fantastic company to work for. Would love to work for them forever. They let us know almost a full year in advance that they were going to relocate all the global support out of Salt Lake into Australia and Montreal, Canada. And I was impressed with the professionalism of everybody impacted, including myself, over the course of time until that change happened. Nobody stopped doing their job. And the company's transparency was an underlying element for why. We understood the business need. We understood that this was not a personal thing. They didn't want to isolate us as individuals. It was just a decision that was made. And how did they get there? The transparency, as a person affected, I welcomed it. I didn't like it. Would love to work there for the rest of my career, but I welcomed it, the transparency. And there was no bullshit meter spinning up for most of it. And so it was
And
good.
and with the transparency, it helps you as an individual who is potentially going to be impacted, whatever that impact is going to be able to make the right decision for you.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
if the transparency is not there, you're making certain decisions based on incorrect or falsified information.
We
And
have
that could have a ripple effect as well down the
the
line, down the road.
the volume of gossip that can circulate through an organization is incredible, and how factual it is. Everybody's making decisions off of what they've heard, and there may or may not be truth to it.
Yeah, it's your guess is as good as mine, you know?
Right.
Absolutely. So, but going back to you, Levi, what was that helped you grow in your career?
Yeah, leaders who, as I said, believed in me more than I did. So
I
I
did
think that,
believe in you.
yeah, yeah, I
I
think
still believe.
you did a tremendous job about that for sure. And I think I have to thank you a lot about, you
Thank
know,
you.
where
You're
am I
welcome.
where am I? So if I'm in a shitter, it's because of you. No, but
Oh, I know the feeling.
yeah, but to be honest, it's always about you can have your interest and you know, whatever career path in your mind, but your leader can spend more time or have more resources or more overview on the possibilities and also the routes that you could take, what you don't see from the ground level. So I think that's also something that I really appreciate. That you know, when I'm working, I'm pretty content. It's a work. I'm doing my job. Sometimes I enjoy it. Sometimes I don't enjoy it because it's repetitive. But sometimes I enjoy it because it's repetitive. So it's like, you know, I'm okay. I'm that kind of person you put down there, you do the job, and I'm doing the job. It's okay. But
You're doing more than you. Let me stop you there. Or at least while you were working for me, you were doing more than the job.
yeah, but
That's
it's
why I saw the potential in you. So it's yeah, you do the job. You're not that type of person who is just going in and being there for 8 hours and then tossing tickets around, you know. But you were always thinking about what's ahead and what impact it could have down the chain, basically, and then how to fix it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's
I
why you
think
were that's why you were better than the others,
but
or
that's
most of them.
also comes from that thing that we were talking a lot, I think, or
Communication.
never had an issue with that. And there were things that came up, and then we were talking about something that started something in my mind, and then 3 weeks
And in my
later,
mind too.
yeah. So I think that also, so you need some trigger to understand that, and now it works, as a habit in my mind, but that has to be developed, or acquire this skill, that you have to think outside the box. But if you are hired to do some job, you always think about the box, and the box is good because it has some walls, it has some barriers, and then within the box, it's your responsibility, but outside the box it's not your responsibility, so it's safe. It's good to work in a box. But then if you think about, you have a good leader who you can trust, that if you make a mistake or you spend 10 days chasing a ghost, and then it turns out to be nothing, then you won't get reprimanded because of that. Then you can have some courage to go and do a different approach and think outside the box. And I think that's what was very good in my case with the leaders, and of course mostly you, that I could experiment, and I don't have to be afraid to be asked that, okay, what have you done in the past 2 weeks, because we see that you only did 80% of the tickets that you did last time, and it's like, that gives
So
some you know place to improve as well.
I have a question for you, Levi. Flipping that around, in your capacity as a team lead, when you were a leader with us, did that change your view of how peers you used to have, now individual contributors you're responsible for? Did you view them differently after that?
I think I was very lucky with that team. There were 30 some people, right? Yeah. And I was very lucky because there was only like one or two rowdy people. Uh, but uh, but the rest of the team, I think, what I try to apply what I learned from Judith's style as well, and I think that worked because what I did as a team lead, I let everyone to their devices. I checked that everything have to be done. All the timely things had to be done and taken care of. And if someone is not logging in or away for too long, I just ping them. What's going on? What do you need some help or whatever? But I think I also try to like deliver on my promises. So if I saw someone was doing some extra mile, then I'll make a note, and I'll try to repay them when there was an opportunity. And also I try to go and and when I became the team lead, I remember, if you remember, I started to change the shift plan. You remember,
Yep.
you did?
Yep.
And I
Absolutely.
I talked to each and every one before that, and I explained them what's the plan, and then I also asked them what is their preference. And I think that's what a lot of people appreciated, that they were checked with about their preferences. Uh, and I think they were pretty happy for that. I don't know how many 2 years, maybe.
It was a quite a long time from that perspective, and you're right. That's a great example, that people felt like they were part of a decision making, in a way, right? their inputs were taken into consideration, especially when the whole schedule, and I think you did it for a 3 months period in advance.
No, it was a 3 months repeating period. So they
Oh,
had it
three months
for a
repeating
whole
period.
year,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
3 months, and then it recycled and
But
repeated.
they knew ahead of time how it's going to their schedule going to look like for the next 3 months, and that's something that nobody could give them before, and it was so ad hoc and it changed so much. There were so many people like calling sick, they didn't want to do their shift and whatsoever. So there were so many issues from that perspective in the day-to-day job and day-to-day life of everybody else. But with that you managed to stabilize it, right? They knew what they were expecting. They got mostly, let's say, I don't know, 90%, 80% their preferences, their preference shifts. And I think that that gave a big boost for their mentality and how they approached the whole having to go to work and be there and do my job.
I think that's a fair, accurate assessment. Judith, anything from you what do you consider to be the best attribute as a leader in your experience?
In my experience, or what am I doing, or what am I expecting from my leaders?
It could be a
Which one?
blend of both. Your
Oh
choice.
my goodness. I think I think what I'm looking for as a leader from my team is, like Levi said it, honesty, transparency. Be there, do your job, go above and beyond if you're willing to. Obviously, we know that not everybody is going to do that, but that's fine. Think out of the box. Get on the. It's gonna sound weird. Get on the train when I tell you to get on the train, not because I'm telling you to get on the train, but because you understand what I'm trying to achieve. So that's where this whole thought leadership and the visionary leadership style of mine is coming into the picture. Because in loads of situations, I know where we are and I know where we need to get to, but I don't want to be the smartest in the room. I want my team to be the smartest in the room and tell me how we can get from point A to point B, delivering what I'm visioning, right?
Yeah.
But that's not gonna be possible if you're not on the train with me, and you're just, and we've seen it many times. Troy, it happened with
Yeah.
certain individuals that they just didn't want to understand because they were so much into day to day, and hey, it's just 5 minutes. Why would I want to do automation, for example? We've seen that.
Hmm.
And it's the and I don't like micromanaging, so probably that's something that Levi could or would be able to speak to as well. I always let people do what they feel like is the best to do. If you messed up, you messed up. Tell me, we're gonna get out of it together. Just be, again, honest about it in a timely manner. And it's kind of like the same thing what I'm expecting from my leaders as well. Let me do my job the best I think it is to do, and if you let me do it, you're gonna get much more from me, because I'm not in that box that Levi was just talking about, that you have a job and you
Yeah.
stay in there. But I appreciate, again, the honesty and transparency. And if something cannot be done, then something cannot be done. If we don't have the money for that, we don't have the money for that. Just tell me, and then I'm gonna move on to the next thing
No, I agree. And it's
and
funny
let
because
me grow.
even the words you're using is you don't have to be the smartest in the room is the common theme we had for 5 years, just talking
Yeah,
about it. Establish some guardrails, and I like to have people establish guardrails for me. It was always the most frustrating to have a leader not set up any guardrails, and you go down a path where you're doing, and even though you're having conversations that reinforce what you're doing is right, you get to the final destination only to learn that somebody above your manager has a totally different vision that was never communicated to you. So you've just
yeah,
spent 8 months doing something that is going to add no value to the organization. It added value to your team. There's no outcome though that you can measure that shows it was worthwhile. And so, yeah, give me some guardrails, but turn me loose. And that's what I like to do as well with team members. When I'm responsible for managing somebody or a group of people, give them the guardrails so they know where they need to be, but turn them loose to be creative and get there. Um, like we've talked repeatedly, when we hire for attitude and aptitude. They're interviewing for a job that they likely already have some form of skill for, it may not match what you actually need, but most jobs you can train.
Exactly.
They can learn it.
Exactly.
It's the attitude and aptitude that they bring to the table that makes it viable to set guardrails and turn them loose.
Yeah. And
That's
be able to communicate is the
Yeah.
other thing,
Oh,
because remember what Levi said,
yeah.
when we were talking to each other, whatever it was, it just triggered a thought for him, or just triggered a thought for me
Yeah.
as well. And that's how we managed to get out of that hole that we were in, and we couldn't find a solution. We just needed to talk it through. But if somebody doesn't talk to you, or not willing to talk to you, or tell his or her idea, because information is power type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Then the train is not going to move forward, and we're going to
Right.
get stuck. So let's
And
talk, let's communicate,
yeah.
and whatever it is, just let's talk it through.
And that's where those skills that we haven't spoken about as a leader, as a manager, you are responsible for making sure that nothing's going to break or is broken, and fixing or addressing the issues. That's not what I like to focus on, but that element is critical as a leader. And hopefully, as an individual contributor, each individual contributor understands that, okay, it's not carte blanche. I can't just go do whatever I want, you know? I can't go paint a new mural on the side of the building because it appeals to me. That's not even in scope, right? I got to do what I'm supposed to do. As a leader, you keep that path is defined. You just don't focus on those elements. You focus on the human piece, the elements where you're getting more out of others. Levi, I'm
There
sorry, you
is
were going to. Oh, go ahead, Judy.
so sorry. There is one more thing that came to my mind while Levi was talking, and you just said something now as well that triggered it. From a leadership style perspective, I'm kind of like a give and get type of person. If you give me something, you're gonna get something in return as well. Meaning, if you deliver what I'm asking you to deliver, and you need to go away, for example, for 2 hours because the gas company is coming, whatever it is, go for it. I'm not gonna ask you to go on a holiday, or sorry, to take a PTO or something like that. And it can go in any directions and in any
Yeah,
ways, as long as you're delivering what I'm asking you to deliver. And then I'm gonna give you as well what you need.
yeah, I totally agree. Levi, you want to bring us home?
Oh, yeah, I was just I wanted to say about the or add something to the hiring because I've been told that I wasn't on the even on in the fifth or in the top five of the candidates in technical terms, and I was like, yeah, what? Okay, so but when we were talking, they sensed something, or my attitude, or my charisma.
Your charisma.
Yeah,
Yep.
but anyway,
Yep.
so
You know
so
all that.
yeah, so they told me that after I've been hired that yeah, I wasn't the top candidate, so that's fine. But they see, and that's what I really like as well, because that's my overview on this as well. That what you said, Troy, as well. That this is a technical job, but you can't have all the technical skills that's necessary. You have
Mm-hmm.
to learn. There's no way you're going to get a position and then immediately you know everything about it, and then you won't have to learn anything about it in the future. It's just not going to happen. And if you have to learn in the future about it, then you might as well just learn from a beginner skill, or but you have
Right.
to have the basic knowledge, and then you can build on that. But that's an attitude question, not skill question, I think. And that's why I was always happy to see people who I was working with who had the attitude of learning, or openness about learning new things, and they even maybe they were more experienced in Linux than I am, and they were open for new things. They don't have to hammer home that, oh, we always have to do it this way because this is the Linux way. But come on,
No, I
there's
totally agree.
150 different ways doing things, right? So it's
Think
like,
out of the box.
So
exactly.
Judah, as we close, if you had to give one principle for future technical leaders that they should follow and pay attention to, what would it be?
You called me now. You got me on that one. I think it would be probably, yeah, I don't know, probably the forward thinking and be a visionary leader, because your team knows better than you know, because they are doing the day-to-day job.
I agree.
The active listening, that's important as well, and
Yeah, listen
understanding you're not the
first.
smartest in the room.
Right. And that you don't have to be.
You don't
That's
have
the
to be.
critical
Exactly, that's
element.
why you have people.
You
Yep.
have to give them trust. Trust them,
Definitely build
and
the
then
trust.
they will start trusting you. And then, as I did, and even if there's a situation that nobody likes, I will go along with that. If you say that, okay, I know it's shitty, but this is how we have to roll now. And I was like, yeah, it's shitty. Let's roll.
Great
Are we in this
closing
together
statement.
or we are not in this together? That's the question all the time in those situations.
Exactly.
Fantastic. I agree with both of you. Well, it's great catching up and look forward to the next discussion.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Everybody
you.
have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you.
You too. Bye
Bye.
bye.